piece I entered into Ebb and Flow is called Attitude Adjustment. It's the second in a series of quilts that I did as a response to a pretty intense medical event in my life. The first one was darker because I was in the midst of a lot of pain and rehab. Attitude Adjustment came a little bit later when, the worst of the recovery was over, and I had to start dealing with changes in my life, things that I could no longer do that I was used to doing. So it had to do with kind of a response to those changes, life-changing events. How are you going to respond to them? Or am I just going to continue to be angry and fearful and, resentful and so forth? Or am I going to find a way to move forward and create, like a new reality that works for me and that is positive and affirming? I am a real fan of saturated color. And I like color combinations that are just slightly off what would be traditional, complementary color scheme or whatever. What I've found is that when I'm using these really strong, arresting colors, and particularly if they're slightly jarring sometimes, that kind of needs to be tempered by some neutrals. I wasn't consciously thinking this when I made the color choices for these pieces. I just knew I wanted that purple and I wanted that kind of acid yellow. But I think it was almost an unconscious choice of feeling bruised at the time and kind of, beaten up, that along with the black, there was a lot of darkness in what was going on with me right then. But there was also a lot of hope involved. So there are windows, little window shapes throughout. There's the strong diagonals and the strong colors, but there are also these sort of off-white window spaces that break up those stronger, more jarring triangle pieces. We are always experiencing change, from just regular, changes in the seasons, to light to dark, all of those kinds of things. But we adapt to all of to small things and large things. And I felt that this was a good theme for this particular quilt, because it addresses how you adapt to a large change in your life. I have been working in series, and I like the idea of taking a shape, just a large, simple shape, and then seeing what can be done with it.